文化的传承，倒挂无量，丰收的喜悦，点缀脸庞。今天我们要来一探海端乡坎顶部落的小米文化。但是出发之前，我们一起来看看今天的单字吧。Crop， 庄稼，作物。The main crop grown in Chishang is rice. Pound， 连续猛击，捣碎。I could feel my heart pounding as my crush walks by. Thresh， 用机器或是工具帮谷物脱粒。The farmers are threshing the wheat. Climate， 气候。As you go southward, you'll notice a gradual change in the climate.Harvest， 收割、收成。这个单字呢，它有名词跟动词的用法，就让我们一起来看看吧。When will you harvest your millet？ 这边呢，我们 harvest 是用动词，所以 harvest 就变成了收割的动作哦。那我们再来看看名词吧。Farmers are busy during the harvest. 这边 harvest 就是用在名词，所以呢，它是用来称作我们收成期间的收成哦。接下来是补充单字 ，rescue 拯救。我们平常的用法也可以用 save 哦。下一个 sip 啜饮。当我们要请别人试喝一个东西，喝一小口的时候，我们可以跟他说 "Take a sip", "Take a sip"。下一个 cultivate 栽种，我们平时也可以用 plant 来代替 cultivate 哦。再来 altitude 海拔，海拔呢高低海拔，我们可以在前面加上 high 跟 low。就会变成高海拔跟低海拔 ，high altitude 以及 low altitude。最后一个 shrunken 缩小的、缩水的 ，shrunken popcorn 就是爆米花，然后比较小的版本就叫做 shrunken popcorn。我们也可以说哦，我的嘴唇太久没有喝水了 ，so my lips shrunken。我的嘴唇因为缩水而变小了。好，接下来大家有没有跟着我一起念呢？相信大家都是大拇指的啦。那就让我们一起进入脚本吧。Welcome to Guyana. My name is Steven. Today we are at Kanding Village. We're going to learn the traditional crop of Bunong, millet. Anyone here ever tried Bunong millet cuisine? Don't worry.It's normal if you haven't tried it. That's why you're here. Guyana means hanging in Bunong language. We're not trying to get creepy right here. When we say hanging, it means hanging crops, not people. Starting in 2008, doing handicrafts, Guyana's owner, Tian Guo, noticed that Bunong's traditional millet culture will eventually disappear if nobody takes action to rescue it. He said,Wherever there are Bunongs, there is millet. Many of Bunong's traditional ceremonies are based on the harvest, so many of their traditional festivals will fade and disappear if they no longer grow millet. So Tian Guo started growing millet again, and his daughter, Ibu, studied how to cook it for a while. Finally, Ibu overcame all the difficulties and accomplished the delicious Bunong millet cuisine.They invited the elders in the tribe to try this cuisine. All the elders ended up with tears of joy because they haven't eaten millet for years. The sticky taste reminds them of their childhood memories, since it takes a lot of time and effort to cook a pot of flavorful millet. So today we're going to learn from Ibu and Tianguo about the knack of making good millet. There are many types of millet. Some are yellow, some are black, some are red. Among all the millets, native ones are my favorite. It is called rainbow millet because it shines like a rainbow under the rising sun. We call it honey vovo quiz, which means a narrow rainbow. Another type of millet I want to talk about is the white millet. In Bunong, we call it kalibuaz. There is an interesting legend about it. There was an old man who was pounding the white millet. The old man got thirsty. He wanted to go to the river to drink water, but no one could take the pestle in his hand. So he had to bring the pestle with him to the river. After drinking water, he turned around and found that the white millet stuck to the pestle was as sticky and elastic as mochi. It allowed him to pull it all the way to the river. Rainbow millet and white millet are not very common because they take 5 months to grow, while others only need 3 months. What's worse, they're easily eaten by birds before they're harvested. In the past, millet was an important food for Bunongs. Before it can be cooked, Tianguo Papa will show us how to thresh the millet. Step 1. Before threshing the millet, take off our shoes and socks. Why? Because we will be using our feet to rub the millet until they come out. Step 2. Pour the millet into the mortar and hit it with the pestle to get rid of the husk. Make sure that the pestle hits the middle area of the mortar so the millet won't fall out. Step 3. We put the millet in the sieve and toast it up like you're toasting pizza. Everyone did a great job. Give yourself a big hand. Now, let's take a look at the Bunong calendar. The Bunong calendar follows the millet planting cycle. It tells us what to plant and when to plant. Many Bunong festivals have to do with millet. This one, on top of my head, is our village calendar. Different tribes and village would have different calendars due to climate and astronomy observation differences. Now, let me introduce all the festivals to you. Festivals related to millet from January to June are sequentially Land Reclamation Festival, 开垦季, Sowing Festival, 播种季, Winemaking Festival, 酿酒季, Millet Thinning Festival, 疏拔季, Hunting Festival, 狩猎季, Ear Shooting Festival, 射耳季, Millet Harvest Festival, 小米收获季, and Millet Storing Festival, 小米进仓季. After these 8 festivals, there are 2 more, the New Year's Festival, 新年季, and the Babies Festival, 婴儿季. And that's all of Bunong's festivals. That's a lot, right? Hang in there, guys. You're doing great. I believe everyone is hungry now. Let us take a seat and see what's for lunch. You can take a sip from the cup. It's sugarcane tea. You taste a sort of floral fragrant sweetness. The Bunong plant sugarcane in the field to draw a line between their fields and their neighbors. They also plant corn, sweet potato, and taro to tell people that this field belongs to their family. Today, all the food on the table is from their fields. Let's take a look at the plate. The flower in the middle is the Russell flower. We call it the flower of Tidal. It is wrapped in olives and it tastes sweet and sour, a bit like green mango. I recommend eating this first as an appetizer. The yellow thing in the middle is millet. Cultivating millet is tough and it usually just yields little. I'm not kidding, guys. We're really lucky to have millet today. It takes more than an hour to cook a small pot of millet. You have to beat and stir the millet to make it glutinous during the cooking process. That's why Bunong teenagers gradually stop making millet. What's interesting about this place is Haiduan is a special place where low and high altitude plants can survive at the same time. You can see low altitude crops like millet, red quinoa, pigeon peas, and high altitude crops like cabbage, string beans, and ferns growing in the same field here. The cabbage roll today is stuffed with string beans and vegetable fern. The combination of these two vegetables bring a refreshing taste. You can try it with the sauce on top. We change the sauce according to the season. The sauce we're using now is made from mulberries. The next dish is braised pork. We braise the pork with millet wine leaves to make it tender and delightful. Today's fried platter is made with fried quinoa leaves. You could eat the whole plant except its root. Bunons also use its stems to make soup. If you come to the Bunon tribes as a guest and leave without eating any meat, that's a shame for the host. So you must try our main dish, roast pork today. They smoke the pork until it is tender and juicy. You can eat the meat with the raw Taiwanese shallot on the side. Dip it first in a little salt. Then eat the shallot followed by a piece of meat. You can also eat it with the monk's cress. It is the orange flower on the side. It tastes a little peppery, like wasabi. We also have Bunon-style pickles on the side that we pound with garlic, chili, and ginger. For dessert, we have pumpkin rice cake which was filled with red bean puree and topped with homemade sea salt caramel. The small grains are a local grain called Formosa beardgrass. They call it Bunon popcorn because it tastes and looks like shrunken popcorn. That's the end of the introduction. Please enjoy. This is the story of the Bunon people. Thank you for visiting us at Guyana. In Bunon, we said Uninang. It means thank you for coming and I hope we can meet again. 感谢收看。如果喜欢我们的影片的话，可以帮我们订阅、按赞，还有分享，也可以帮我们开启小铃铛，这样子新影片上架的时候就可以随时看见咯。我是关关英文的关关，陪你英文导览，关关难过，关关过。我们下次影片再见咯，拜拜。